who's feeling like maybe you were in sophomore year?
There's a lot of people here that want to help us. The administration really does want to help us, and we also have counselors here such as Mr. Blunt and Ms. Hoyer who really do a great job in their areas. Ms. Hoyer is for the college and career, and Mr. Blunt helps with personal issues and stuff, and it really does help.
Okay. Caitlin, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, we have a lot of counselors at our school in particular, and they're all really, really good counselors. They have personal relationships with all of us, like we're all really close with them, and we're family, like I said earlier. But just always to know that there's someone else who believes in you. We all believe in each other, and that's something really unique about our school.
Yes, that is unique about your school, and that's something, especially during tough times, that many of us are experiencing in the world, people need to remember and take stock of. As you are aware of things outside of the high school realm, what are the things that concern you most?
I think definitely the economy, especially with going into college and the budget cuts and everything. But there's always, we can always count on our teachers and friends to give us support when all the outside pressures really come down on us.
Okay. Caitlin, what about you?
The economic stuff is kind of, it hits hard a little bit, but not, I don't know, I don't think we've experienced too much at our school. I mean, the budget cuts, which hurts a little, but we're all, we make do and have a lot of fun, we still do a lot of cool things.
Yes, and the fact that you're knit together, the spirit really
Yeah.
helps during tough times, as you mentioned, to keep things going. Well, it's a pleasure to talk with both of you. We expect great things from you. I know adults always say that, but I just wanted to add that in case you hadn't heard it today yet. That it's really refreshing to hear about your vision and about the community here. So I thank you for joining us on Bay Area Vista.
Thank you for being here.
And we've been talking about what makes Gunderson High School unique. Here's what some other students had to say.
Gunderson is unique in that I think the social atmosphere here is really unparalleled. I mean, I've visited several schools. I've lived in California my entire life, Northern California most of the time. And the last school that I went to, it was full of cliques.
Our student body is really diverse and it's really accepting of most people. If we don't have cliques here, you couldn't walk into the forum and say like, oh, there's the jocks and there's the emos and there's the ballet girls. Like you don't ever see that because we don't separate ourselves into groups like that.
We hang out with all each other. Like it's not based like one group hangs out with the other. We're all like kind of a tight-knit family at Gunderson, so that's a real good thing over here.
But what really matters is that even though everyone's different, we all can come together and be friends. I mean, everyone just knows everyone.
But I really do feel like there is a really good atmosphere among the students.
So they're cool with one another.
I think what makes Gunderson unique is the diversity that we have at this school.
It's very diverse.
Gunderson is unique because not only is it a diverse group of people,
a variety of different people of all personalities and races.
The relationship between teachers and students. At any time you can go and talk to any of the teachers here on campus and they can help you out with anything, whether it's homework or a personal problem. They're always there for you.
Communication among the teachers and students, because what I see a lot of the times is students chilling in teachers' classrooms, like sort of having conversations as friends would have it, and they're not really so alienated between what students are and who teachers, what their positions are. Like I just feel like a really friendly environment around the school.
What makes Gunderson High School unique? Well, I think that the fact we get laptops is pretty awesome.
I really like the magnet we have here. Like I love that every student has a laptop, and I love that I can work on Final Cut Pro and make a movie, and then show it to the entire school during the annual film festival. And working in the studio is really great, and I'm sure that's probably my favorite thing about the school is I can do what I want to do and what I love, and it's going to help me be better prepared for a career in the field.
Gunderson is unique because you have your choice of either doing film, you could be in the technology, you can be in theater. You have your wide choice of what you want to do.
It seems like at this school things are surprisingly a little better managed. Like the students almost seem to be more mature for some reason.
Some of the schools, they say that it's not as open, like teachers are not maybe as close as the students as they are here.
a lot of times I hear that teachers don't really care, or this teacher does this badly, doesn't teach very well.
Usually when talking with Gunderson, they won't talk good about their school, but they'll talk bad about our school. And that's just because we have this weird this weird reputation of something that happened a few years back that sort of stuck with us, and so people think that we have a lot of gang violence and that we have just a really poor system here when we really don't. It's not the case.
I have had somebody from Gunderson help me out when I was going through a rough time. An example would be during the time that I was having some family issues that would sort of come in conflict with my homework and having to be well prepared for school or whatnot. That sort of anxiety carried on with me to school. And I mean, like, again, to reiterate on that relationship among teachers and between teachers and students.
I think it was my sophomore year. I wasn't doing so well in school, and I sat down by one of my coaches named Coach Espiritu, and and he sat me down and just basically just told me that I had a chance to do something with my life great, and that really helped me, and it made me a better person.
We've been talking about the diversity at Gunderson High School, and Delorme McKeestoval is Human Relations Coordinator for the Network for a Hate-Free Community in Santa Clara County. Delorme, thank you for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
I know you must be impressed with all that the students have done.
I certainly am.
Well, one of the things that I found so interesting is that they always mention that despite the diversity here, people tend to get along. There are not a lot of cliques. And I'm wondering, from your experience, what does it take to create a community in which that is true?
You really have to start at the beginning, the freshman year, and you have to talk about values and beliefs and the things that really matter, people getting along with one another and learning from each other. And I think that's one of the amazing things about Gunderson High School. When you come on campus, it's like coming onto an international campus. Children, here, young people here are dressed in their native attire in a lot of different circumstances, and it seems to be welcomed and just accepted here. I know I had one incident many, many years ago, right after 9/11 incident happened, that I came here, but it was a minor incident, and it was something that everybody was very focused on, very interested in resolving right away, and it was resolved very quickly.
So really dealing with it and addressing it.
Yes.
What have you seen since President Obama's election in terms of expressions of hate and concerns that you're addressing through the network?
I think some people are just really frightened about the idea of having the first African-American president, and we've been seeing that playing out across the country. I know my very first experience after coming back from the inauguration, about 3 blocks from my home, I was on my way to work, and I looked over to the right and I saw, what is that signage? And it was a 4-foot by 4-foot sign that basically said, "In Obama."
Wow.
And it was huge, so I had to stop and I had to address it. I had to cite it as a hate crime, get the police involved, get the people involved in, cleaning up the mess that was left there. But it was shocking for me. I mean, I just come back from one of the most, probably auspicious experiences that I've ever had in my life. But also, since then, we've seen over 100% increase in militias, the growth of militias throughout the nation, which is a really disturbing trend.
Very frightening.
We've seen an increase in hate crime directed towards the gay LGBT community as a result of their pursuit of marriage. And we've also seen the traditional communities. The African American community still ranks #1 as the community that's victimized by hate crime across the nation and here in Santa Clara County as well.
So when you see these things happening, what specifically does your organization do to try to make a difference and to address the problem?
One of the most important things that we do is education. We spend probably a good 70% of our resources just on going to schools, from middle schools to high schools, into colleges and universities, and we work with also small NGOs and CBOs in the community to talk about diversity, to talk about systemic bias and how it impacts people, and to talk about how to interrupt prejudice. In addition to that, we actually work with the victims of hate crime. Because often the victims of hate crime feel like rape victims. They feel isolated, they don't understand why it's happened to them, they can't get over that. So we get them in touch with therapy if they need it, get them in touch with their community if they need it. We work with them, counsel with them, so that they feel really much more comfortable. We also work with perpetrators. Because our attitude out of our office is that the solution for perpetrators of hate